Back everyone to Warlord of SBAS plays Torment, Tides of Numenera, episode 22. Last time we talked to Rin, learned all her backstory a little bit, and the fact that she has a little baby god in a rock apparently. So this time we're going to continue exploring the cliff's edge. That's something she can do. Well, that's good to know. Bigger. Yeah, let's talk to the bigger. Hey, you don't.
Yes, child.
Let's just go up here then. What is this place? You. Jernagug. Hello, Jernagug. Jernagug. This old man. Skin is covered to make up, painstakingly drawn to resemble dark stone. His eyes widen briefly as he notices you, and his face and neck hardened into actual obsidian for a moment. Then he smiles and nods at you, his features mobile once more. Welcome, welcome, he says. Sorry about the stone. Polymorphics flesh modification. You see, I didn't see you walking up, and I assumed you were going to cut my throat and take my clerical parlor for yourself. Why would you think such a thing? I do good business here, the old man shrugs. If I were a younger man, looking to make a name for myself in this city, I'd kill me too. My clerical parlor is marvel of the prior world, you see. Just pick an item or a service, pay me outrageous fees, and after only a short, too long period of fairly safe but undescribable agony, you walk away with some horrible Numenera bits wearing away inside you. He pokes a few buttons on the service device strapped to his wrist. Lights twinkle across its length, a dark glassy lens focused on you. Well, interested? I can't help but notice that you're a very honest man. Well spotted, he says, nodding clear. Streaks of quartz run up his prominent cheeks, revealing muscle beneath. It's a side effect of my modification. Couldn't lie to you if you begged me to. He shrugs. Honestly, it's usually a hindrance to my business, but people seem to like it. It's a blessing, in my opinion. How did you come to own this parlor? It was originally a partnership, he says. My colleagues and I spent 2 years digging it out and getting the whole mess working. So, of course, we had to test the drones before we tried them on anyone else. Customers are getting skinned alive on opening days that bad for business. Yeah, probably. Turns out that was a wise move. Grow had chosen an intelligent modification, and the drones cut off his head to work on it more directly. Mira picked strength, and the drones sliced off her arms. He defaulted to sever in those days, he smiles fondly. Anyway, 6 partners later, I was the sole proprietor. I worked out the kinks, and here we are with no fatalities in, he thinks, months. No fatalities in months. The strongest survived, of course. It might not have been me, but, well, it was. Alright, show me what you have. Of course, he says, tipping a few buttons on the broad device, then circling his wrist. The lens becomes a cone of light directly into your eyes, which immediately begins watering. Blinking, you see a menu of items seemingly hanging in the air. Clawed gauntlets? What are those? I knew that would catch your eye, he says, digging at you in the ribs. You plant long, hollow rods in your forearms with steel blades sheathed inside. Just flick your wrist and cut and out they pop, surprising anyone who mistook you for unarmed. You demonstrate with an unoccupied wrist, making little shink sounds. 125 students to a weapons, and they work both. Yeah, so you can turn yourself into Wolverine, which is kind of hilarious. Maybe later I'll turn myself into Wolverine. The jagged memory? This, she says with a raised finger. is a tricky one. It's a mesh that fuses with your skin, looking jagged marks with like tattoos. When you attack, you always hit your enemy's old wounds, even if they weren't there before. Told you it was a tricky one. Sounds kind of weird. The encroaching darkness. What's that? A beguiling name, isn't it? He says that his laugh lines crinkle. I'm glad you like it because I'm not quite sure what it does. It's a living creature, you see, that crawls around your body while you sleep. Eventually, it takes root in your nervous system or does something. He shrugs. Could be good, could be bad, could be both. Certainly won't be boring. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to put the encroaching darkness into my body. Sounds bad. Or blood in it. It's quite simple, he says. The drones fill your blood with millions of tiny machines that probably begin devouring you alive until they learn the difference between your body and anything that's not supposed to be there. After that, will do their level best to purge toxins and illnesses from your body with every pump of your heart. He pauses. In case it wasn't clear, this one is really going to hurt. No, thank you. The Numenera nanolyzer sounds safest. It's quite safe, he says, nodding. Most of the time, it's in almost 3 out of 5 cases. And the procedure couldn't be simpler. The drones simply saw your skull open, shove an implant into the right spot, and seal everything back up again. He clasps his hand. Once they do that, the implant will help you identify for a purpose of unknown Numenera. Yeah, that sounds safe. Let's crack open my head. See what happens. Excuse me. An artificial eyeball? Really? Very popular item, he says, nodding. The meat ones are wear out so easily. This one never does, and it'll help you spot things normal eyes miss. They'll take all it takes is one-time cost of blah blah blah. Who paid for all these procedures? That's a popular question. This is a popular question, he says, and it does vary from procedure to procedure. But if you're seeking a general area, he taps his chin thoughtfully. My customers usually range between shrieking for merciful death and groaning while soiling themselves, if that helps. But they almost always seem happy with the results when they survive. He smiles. Now, are you ready for to buy something? I'll think about it. Might want to do one for fun. I don't know. I'll let the audience decide if they want me to modify my character. See what they think.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
Glaive. Okay, you're not something important. Just things to look at. Nothing to loot. Fine. Next area. You. Pick you. The mutant boy gazes at the entrance of the surgical parlor, flinching at each stretch of razor metal or a metal from within. Scratch. By your estimation, he is the late teens, but is the size of a young, malnourished child. His arms are a little more than bone, wrapped in red speckled skin, and a raw line zigzags down between his mismatched eyes and over his blade of a nose, as if pointed directly at his thin lips. He sees you looking, and bird-like muscles flex in the frail jaw. Get a good look, he says, lifting his chin. Or maybe you want to call me some names. I hear eggshell a lot, or maybe lightning bolt. Get that one from time to time. He crosses his bony arms and glares at you. Don't let me stop you. Call me some names, laugh, do it now, because in another few minutes I'll be the one laughing. Oh, I wanted to call him Earthquake so bad, just be a dick. Fine, I'll be a dick. Calm down, Earthquake. Very funny, he says. Hilarious, you know what? I am calm. I'm not going to be the butt of everyone's jokes anymore, he says. Electricity sizzles within the nearby parlor. This time, he does not flinch away. Lightning flickers trapped in his determined eyes. I have some money, alright. I'm going to use it to change myself, change everything I can. He trails off, stunning you in turn. His eyes widen, and he glances quickly away, studying the nearby parlor instead. Is he the guy who... Could it be? Could he be a sign? What sort of changes are you considering? What do you care, he says. I'm sure you have business somewhere in the city. I don't want to be in any trouble. Why did you look at me strangely earlier? His mouth turns as though he's wrestling with a question he doesn't want to ask. Excuse me. Doesn't feel good to be stared at, does it? He says at last. Look back at the parlor. He seems not. He says at last, looking back at the parlor. Seems to be deflecting your question, though it isn't clear why. He's forgotten me. Doesn't matter. His words to me. His words to me then mean the same to me now. Can anyone be improved from the parlor? Yes, he says. You pay the keeper and the drones who make your body the way you want. Alright. Cool.
Of course.
Gairuma squirms. Alright. Oh, okay. You're the one I'm allowed to talk to. Surprise briefly registers the cultist's face when she sees you, then gives you a brief but respectable bow. Holy One, we hadn't expected to see you up here. How may I help you? He's here finally. I get to study him up close. You seem less differential than some of the other fellows. Why? You're testing me, she says, rather pleased, and clears her throat. Some of us revere you, and it's true. Others, and I included myself, honor you for your boundless wisdom, your boundless knowledge. But we wish to emulate you to become you. She coughs, flushing a little. In a manner of speaking. All right, cool.
With alacrity.
Can't really do much with you people. What's over here? Found pile of wood and stone marks the place where your house once stood. Alright. Neat. Alright, let's go down here then. Dondra O'Hare cultist. Alright. Well, this is just the way to... Yeah, Circus Minor, where we started. Crashed airship, which we already looked at. That's alright. Lord Vergon. Alright. Ventagon. What's up? Declaiming to the crowd is a well-dressed but sickly-looking man, shirt dumping an unhealthy shade of yellow. You might have jaundice. Or some other disease. Despite this, he has the proud demeanor and the stentorian voice of a much larger man. He booms at you as you approach. Oh, another lucky fellow. Excellent. The people have called for deliverance from the ravaging stitches, and the hero has answered. Most courageous of you. You are all heroes who stand up to face of conflict.
Making a note.
He smiles. All you have to do is to be the first to find the rogue Stitches, who's been terrorizing Cliff's Edge. Return here and tell me precisely where it is, and I'll take it from there. He pats you on the shoulder, and you'll be rewarded, I promise you. As the head of the slave family, I owe you a favor, and my favor carries a good deal of weight. Can I ask you more about the Stitches and its kind? He nods. Of course, knowing the enemy is the first step to defeating it. What exactly is the Stitches? They are horrible, undermining vermin from another world. They tunnel beneath the streets of the city, undermining our homes and causing them to collapse. Our death are nothing to them. They don't even believe that humans are a sentient creature. What else could you tell me of the rogue Stitches you're looking for? He shudders. The vile thing appeared at Cliff's Edge a few days ago, and it's been stalking around ever since. The whole neighborhood lives in fear of it. They should be afraid. I make sure of it. Why is Cliff's Edge so afraid of it? Some will tell you it's because this district has suffered the most from the Stitches digging. Housing is collapsing on the people, others falling into the sea. There is some truth to that, but the real reason is that the people here have become weak and afraid. They aren't prepared to face adversity. He leans in, warming to the subject. Indeed, if the Stitches didn't exist, it would be tempted. I would be tempted to avenge them. For they are just what the city needs to stiffen its spine. Said Cliffs, our once proud empire has abandoned its holding, and it ceded its territories to Autotheosan tribes and wild beasts. It's time to take them back. Will I get a drink? But how could I do that when your citizens have become lazy, timid children? They have the perfect opportunity. The weak will become stronger. People aren't weak. They only need someone to lead them, to inspire them toward a common goal. And when that leader is gone, the city will fall back into apathy. No, an enemy is what the city needs. In strife, we discover our finest selves. So it has always been. Sisyphus had an empire? Indeed, we held all the lands from here to finishing name. That was before that slave uprising that brought the slave families to power. Some of us seek to reclaim what we lost. Oh, to live in the age such as advanced so quickly back then. Other questions about the Stitches? How did the Stitches come to be in Stitches Cliffs? Several members of the council believe that it is the work of our enemies, that their eggs have brought here from another world an active engines of sabotage. Perhaps others think that the eggs were always here, and it took them centuries to hatch. He shrugs, but it doesn't matter to me. They're here, and they're dangerous. It's up to every true citizen of Stitches Cliffs to resist them. I suspect the Dream Seekers working on a larger scale than I can alone. See something else. Tell me about yourself. He puts a hand on his chest and raises his chins. I am first Vutagan of House Vuntagan. One of the most respected of the slave families. I also have the honor of serving the council. He looks around him uneasily. I don't usually descend to the neighborhood, but in such a crisis, one must put at one's finer feelings aside and do what one can for one's city. Who are the safe families? He puffs off with pride. We are the citizens of the slaves who rose up with Chilla the Great. He smashed the oligarchs, whatever that is, who ruled the city and replaced their despotism with fair and egalitarian leadership, creating a city where anyone can achieve anything if they only try. Do you know this assassin? I don't know what that is, but by the sound of it, I don't want to. She sounds like a dreadful person. Why does he seek the White Death? You know her. Alright, well, you're useless. So, go look for something. You have a name. Hello, mother. Hello, father. This woman glares at the air above her head, her fingers fretting with a single bead in a long, peculiar chain of them. Her low, angry muttering resolves into her words as you get closer. Foolish boy, shivering at the crossroads, amazed by your choices. Go on and pick beauty. Pick strength. Pick pleasure. Whatever they be. The particulars don't matter, boy. What matters is choosing what and what you do it. That you do it. Who are you speaking to? She blinks at the empty air and her hands steal to a metallic many face beads near the end of her chain. Not you, she says, snorting, but I may as well be. Mother Tamaz knows you, lad. Born falling, you were born in the flame. Shreds of your smoldering cowl streamed through the air. When you struck the ground, your beard first went cold, then hotter than our mother's hatred. She shakes her head and spits at her feet. Scarcely born you are, and learning quick, but you still uncertain. All boys and girls are. Until they start making choices and dealing with the consequences. Until they accept the cost of being an adult. Fuck being an adult. I don't understand. You make it sound like no choice can be possibly the right one. All choices sting, she says, without flinging her dishwater gray palms in the air. And the sweetest ones often sting the most. She sighs. You're confused, but that'll change. You'll never have your feet under you soon enough. No, not all of my children are so lucky.
I'll remember that.
This one, she says, showing you the bead she was speaking to before you arrived, is carved in the shape of a malformed ring. Peak wants to escape his past, and he saved a handful of ships by honest means. This is to say it's taken him a long time, and he's too busy pissing all over the options to spend it. His fingers hold over the bead, pushing him into chasing a path, lad. Do that, and I'll return your cowl to you, and prove through my art, the stronger than stronger than when you lost it. Ugh. Words hard. Do what I can. Alright.
Alright.
So you wanted me to talk to this guy up here. Hello, Peak. Pourquoi? He toys with his hand, studying the entrance of the clerical parlor from beneath his lower brow. "You're back," he says. Tension ripples through the studied calm of his voice. "Good. Mother Tomatoes sent me. I want to help." "Oh," he says, blushing. "She knows, of course she knows. And that means you know too." He chews his lip. "Fine, I'm scared, alright. I've had this ugly face, this body my entire life. I've saved up change myself, my future. Maybe I can become strong enough to deal with people who hurt me. Or maybe I'll fix my face. It can't do that. It can do that, but then I'll still be small, despite his anger in his voice. Tears are shining on the corners of his eyes.
Making a note.
I can only use the machines in the parlor once. Understand? It's too expensive. I spent years saving up all the money, and it's not enough to fix me." He opens his pouch to display a moderately impressive collection of coins. Before I say anything, I want to ask you some questions. Alright, he stresses his hairless cheek. We'll continue talking with him, BQ, in the next episode. So until next time, remember, embrace the chaos so you'll go mad. Bye.